electing elders. And the belief is, and I concur, that if a church has godly leadership, that church will be blessed, that church will remain pure, that church will remain effective, and that God will bring people that He chooses to that church to grow it in His time and in His way, and not just focused on numbers. The first thing we need to note is that throughout the Bible, the word pastor is not used very much. The word elder is used a lot. Back in the day that Paul was writing this, back when churches were being established, there was no concept of a senior pastor who ran the show. The king pastor, as some have called him. That idea didn't exist in Scripture. Instead, a group of people were raised up and a plurality of leadership occurred in the church. And it was believed that that was the best because that offered accountability amongst the leadership, that one person couldn't do things in secret and get away with stuff because leadership and authority was changed. What we have at Cornerstone is that we have a pastor, and that's me, but I also have a board. We call it the advisory board. They are my advisors. They are functioning as decision makers. In this church, that is the equivalent of an elder board, somewhat. Churches use different names for their managing board. Some churches have elder boards. This church used to call their managing board the deacons many years ago. And so you can call it anything you want. Some churches are really stuck on the name of the board or the name of the pastor. You can call it anything you want as long as there is not one person who is unaccountable and able to do whatever they want to in a church. We also have as leaders the deacons. They are the servants of the congregation. They are here to help you. That is why if you look on the back page of your bulletin, we have in rotation a deacon of the month. That is not an election. We actually just rotate through the deacons. And if you need anything, need to just talk, if you need help, if you need a ride, if you have information about somebody who needs help, you call the deacon of the month. And you say, this is what I got, and they will help you as best as they can. They are very capable and able to help you. If you want to talk to the advisory board, you have to get your newsletter because their phone numbers are published once a month because that board does not change very much, and you can look in there and call them up and say, what's going on with finances, or what's going on with this, what's going on with that, or you can do something that is very strange and unusual. You can actually call up a member of the advisory board and thank them for being your leadership. Don't ask them for anything. Just say, what can I pray for you for? And thank you, because it is sometimes a thankless job to be running a church. People come and people go, and the leadership must remain consistent. It is important that your leaders not be secret or hidden. We publish their names and phone numbers. We don't have their pictures. Maybe we should do that. At least for deacons, I don't know, but you know who they are. We are open and above board. And as I've said before, you can ask me anything. I want to be a fully transparent pastor. I don't want you to have any reservations or questions about why is this guy in charge. You can ask these questions and you can get satisfactory answers. And what is said in this passage is you look at these leaders and you're supposed to honor them, which means respect them and hold them in high regard. Now, when I was in seminary, it was mostly guys in their 20s who were in the classes. But if I could describe them in one word, it would be prima donna. Ego was thick in the seminary classes because people saw primarily Rick Warren and Hybels in Chicago, who have the biggest churches in America. And they wanted to be like that. They wanted to drive the Lexus and have multiple homes, all on the backs of their church, basically. And they felt that they were worth it. And some of them, I'm sure, as I've actually seen people do this, would show up at a church that had hired them and would show up and say, well, here I am, respect me. You know, here I am, give me some honor on our first Sunday. And the idea is that we need to make sure when we put somebody on the board or when we get a deacon or whenever you get a new pastor, you need to hire somebody that you can respect. You need to be able to look at them and say, are they respectable? Now, there's a lot of reasons that a people will hire a pastor. Some is just education. Some is if they have a lot of letters after their name. If they are published, if they have a book out there, that is one reason. But somewhere along the line, the pulpit committee, the leadership board needs to say, can I respect this person? Can I honor this person? Or are we just hiring them because they sound smart? One way that you honor, it says double honor, and it says a worker is due to his wages, is you pay the pastor, that there is a salary involved. A lot of churches cannot do that, and so their pastors are bivocational. There was a pastor in Oakland that many years ago, he got married in the church. And as a gift, the church actually gave an insurance policy on him and his wife, $1 million each. And they thought, you know, you'll be able to take care of each other. Oddly enough, 2 years later, the wife was killed in a car accident, which was double indemnity, and he got $2 million. It destroyed him, and he left that church and actually left the ministry for 6 months. Then he got hired with the church, and he shared this with them. And he said, therefore, you don't have to pay me. And he said that was one of the biggest mistakes of his life because as it progressed, they realized that since he was free, they had different expectations about his fulfillment of the job, at what he was going to do. He said it changed his relationship with his church because they didn't have a dog in the fight, because they had no investment financially in him. The idea is that honor and salary is not a gift. That when you bring in a leadership, when you bring in a pastor and you decide to pay them, that it is not a gift that they are earned. That there is a working relationship here, there is a job relationship here, and that you need to, when you invest, hold me, hold the advisory board accountable. Now, not all honor is financial. We did a deacon appreciation a couple weeks ago. We gave them gifts, and we said, thank you, we love you. That is a form of honor. That's fine, that's good. But that honor is not just because we're nice people, it's because they earn it, because they work hard, because we appreciate them for what they do and for what they've done. So once you have this leadership that you respect and you honor, and maybe you're paying a little bit, what if they begin to do something wrong? There in Ephesus, if you recall, they were teaching falsehood. They were teaching that the foods you eat and the marriage relationships you had had very much to do with being saved. That you could earn your salvation by your actions. And there's two go get drunk on